Today is June 16th, Thursday, and a lot has happened just in the last couple of days, really 24 hours. We've seen interest rates hike 0.75%, highest of all time in one fell swoop. And we're seeing a lot of changes in the market, very dynamic. I'm going to share with you three things that I think homeowners, buyers, and sellers need to know as we go through this ever-changing real estate market here in Austin, Texas. I'm Margot Wickersham. Please like and subscribe right here. Make sure you hit the bell for notifications so that you catch the latest videos. I am creating more and more content all the time. Things are changing. I'm getting a lot of questions. I want to make sure I bring you the very latest on what's happening in the Austin, Texas market. All right, let's go. Three things. The first thing I want to share with you is that inventory is increasing in the Austin market. In fact, it's increasing across the country, but it's still not enough. There's still higher demand for houses than there are houses to sell. So demand continues to be strong. Inventory is coming up, and what that means is there's more houses to buy, which means that there's less competition for each house, which means that while there might still be multiple offers, it's not going to be 10, 20, 30, some of these crazy situations where people are paying hundreds of thousands of dollars over market, no appraisals, all of that kind of crazy stuff. That means prices have steadied. That means it's easier for buyers now to find a house that they like and can afford and can get approved for. The market continues to be very dynamic, and while inventory has increased, the demand has remained very strong. So that's number two that I want to share with you. Demand continues to be strong. 149 people a day move to Austin, Texas. And when you look at the permits and the new construction that is in the works, it doesn't keep up with the demand. So if you own a home in the Austin area and you're looking to sell and you're wondering, have I missed it? You have not in my opinion, not in the opinion of a lot of realtors. Demand remains extremely strong, which means that if you are a seller, then you can still do pretty well. This is still a very good time to sell in the Austin market. We think that prices will continue to, they may even out, they may stabilize, but we still aren't we're at a little bit over a month of inventory. When we get to 2 months inventory, that means number of houses available for purchase that are on the market, then we might see prices start to settle down a little bit. We think the long haul, things continue to look very strong with the addition of so many tech jobs. We've got Apple and Tesla and Google and so many others. 149 people a day moving here. There's still a high demand for housing here in the Austin market. Number three is that this is a better time to buy now for buyers. It has been very competitive in the last couple of years, especially this last spring. And what we see is it's very hard for buyers to find a house and win the competition to get that house. So we think that that will ease up some. And I want to share that with you because there are a lot of people who get frustrated and they get discouraged when they have put bids on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 houses and they haven't won. That just means your time is coming up soon. The next thing I want to tell you is that interest rates went up 0.75%, which is the highest on record in one day. This is to stem the rise of inflation. We're all experiencing it at the pump, at the grocery store, at our homes, at the closing table. We see that this impacts some buyers. It doesn't impact all of them. The ones that it does impact are the people who are pre-approved for a certain monthly amount. And when that changes, because 0.75% interest rate is quite an increase, that will change the monthly payment amount. That can affect how much people can afford. So my advice to buyers in this market is to make sure that you get pre-approved for the new interest rate amount. You don't want to go through all of the effort to make an offer and have the house inspected, go through all of that and then find out that you don't qualify anymore for the loan. So you want to make sure you get pre-qualified for accurate, up-to-date interest rates. They are still low. Interest rates are still historically low. So this means that buyers are still buying. It just means there's probably fewer buyers per house. Now, what we see at the very high end, the luxury market, is that it is for people who have cash or have a lot of cash. Interest rate doesn't matter, especially if you're paying cash, because there's not going to be an interest payment. If what I'm sharing with you feels like it's valuable to you, that's awesome, and I would love for you to subscribe and hit the bell so that you get notifications, and find me on my website and on Instagram. I love helping people find the very best house for the money that they're using, and to help sellers get the most that they can. It's my passion. So let's recap. Number one is that inventory is increasing. And that means there are more houses to choose from. The supply is greater than it has been. It's still not up to where we typically like to see it, which is at about a month and a half, 2 months. And it has been very, very low before. So more houses are coming onto the market. So that's a good thing for buyers, especially. Number two, it is still a strong market for sellers because the demand is so high, especially for Austin, Texas, and specific areas of our town. So we see that continuing to be strong for sellers. The next thing is that interest rates have gone up substantially, 0.75% just this week, and that will impact how much people can afford to pay for a house when they are getting a mortgage. Now, for high-end luxury buyers who are paying cash, of course it doesn't matter. They're not borrowing money, so the interest rate is irrelevant. For many buyers, though, if you know what your monthly budget is, you've been pre-approved, the amount you've been pre-approved for is going to shift because more of your payment is now going to go towards interest than it did last year. So word to the wise, make sure you're pre-approved for the amount that you are actually going to get a loan for, so that you find the right house for you. And finally, we have a continued strong market because 149 people are moving here every day in the Austin, Texas area. So people continue to move here. Supply continues to be tight, although it's eased up some. And we have housing that is under construction, and it's going to be coming onto the market soon. But even when we take that into account, along with current inventory, there's still a high demand. So this is still a good time to sell a house. It's also a better time to buy a house if you're a buyer. So that's the update for today. Things are changing rapidly. Feel free to reach out to me. I'd love to have a conversation with you, help you decide if this might be the right time to buy or sell. I am here to help you.